Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and we're live right now and broadcasting from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Guys, today I want to do a little bit of an open forum here. I want to be able to find out a little bit more about, what's happening in your particular reality right now. Okay, so what I want to know is sort of where you're at. What's your vision? What are you really trying to achieve? And then based upon where we're at with the group, I want to be able to sort of, customize something here that's going to work the best for everybody across the board here. Okay, so Rona, can you unmute, please? Your system is muted there. We can't hear you. Can you unmute? It's right at the very top, Rona. There's a button with a microphone on it, if you can just hit that. Okay, Rona's having technical difficulties. Okay, Michelle, can you unmute? Michelle. Michelle, you there? Okay, Michelle's having technical difficulties too today. Okay, so Helen. So Helen, first of all, give us an idea. What's happening right now in your world, okay? And what's your vision, okay? Give me an idea of what kind of an income do you want to be able to make? Okay, Helen's muted too. I don't know what's going on, guys. How come everybody's muting themselves out here? What's going on? I haven't hit any buttons here. Let's try Esteban. Okay, Esteban. Can you unmute Esteban? Guys, really? Come on. Okay, let's try Edgar. Edgar, you there? Edgar, you're muted. Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, I think I got my working now.
Okay, so, no, Helen, you just muted yourself again. Okay, let's try Cheryl. Cheryl, are you there? Cheryl? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Helen, you keep on muting yourself and unmuting yourself.
I don't know what happened to my computer. Can you hear me?
I can, and then you mute yourself again. I don't know what's going on there. So.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Okay. So, okay. Helen, share with us a little bit about what's happening in your life, and talk to me a little bit about your vision. What is it that you want to be able to achieve in your business?
Right now, my vision is that, for me to get into Empower Network is the freedom that I want eventually. Right now, if I'm looking into that, if I can get myself 5,000 a month, then I can just walk away from my current job.
Okay, so your vision is to be able to walk away from your job and to make $5,000 a month. Okay, perfect. Okay, Eric, can you unmute? Eric's gone. Okay, let's try Edgar. Edgar, you there? Okay, Edgar, your mic is not working there, my friend. Esteban. Guys,
how's it going?
Bizarre. This is bizarre. This has never happened before on any hangout that I've ever done. This is like totally bizarre. Okay, Esteban.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, yay, we got sound. We got sound. Okay. So, okay, so can you guys hear me okay? Michelle says that I keep on cutting in and out. Can you guys hear me already?
I can hear you. Only 5 minutes left.
Okay. So, Esteban, talk to me a little bit about your vision. What is it, what's happening in your life right now, and what is it that you want to be able to achieve?
Well, Darren, my vision is to gather a lot of people who are in cubicles and boom, get them out and get them to join me and join you and join a lot of people to make this world a really more joyful place. You know, was really so cool because there are people like getting into my team that have such a great heart. You know, there's for example this woman who wants to build houses in IT. There's also this guy who wants to sponsor young people, you know, who are in sports, you know. So he wants to gain a lot of leadership and a lot of knowledge to help them promote. And it was so cool because I was also looking for a children's foundation in my country. So I don't know if you know a guy knows whose name is Joe Chance, and he posted a really beautiful stuff about complimenting people. So I was commenting some stuff to him, you know, in that post, and right when I ended the post, boom, a person like stood next to me and talked to me, and I got scared because my head was down to the phone. And boom, she started to talk to me, and she started talking about a children foundation. You know, it came to me alone, and it's a children's foundation that helps children that were sexual abused or were abandoned in my country.
Wow.
So she gave me this all the info, and now I'm gonna check if it's legit. But the coolest thing is that later that night, I recruited a person, and guess what? Guess what her vision is? Guess what her dream is? She wants to build a children's foundation for handicapped children. Is it that magic, Darren? Like, and all these people is coming to my team with all these cool intentions. It's so amazing. You know,
Wow.
there's also a woman who wants to read books for the children, and it's as you said, Darren. It's as you said, when we tap out of fear, you know, when we stop like thinking about the money we have on the bank account, because that's the way we usually take decisions, you know. We take decisions that, oh, I don't have the money in my bank account, so I cannot make this, I cannot pursue this dream, you know. But when we start like taking decisions based on what is in our hearts, as you said, thinking about what we want, the reality that we want, and that's what is in our hearts. When we start taking decisions that way, boom, miracles will start to happen there. And well, I have to thank you for that. You know, you showed me that path, and you helped me like tap out of fear, and miracles are happening, and happen. I don't know, like magic, Darren. Thank you. So that's my vision. Save the world. Like gather an army of people, you know, and show them that they came to this world not to be in a cubicle, know that their existence has a greater purpose, you know, and their legacy is greater than to be in a cubicle, you know.
Fantastic. Okay, so does anybody else have the ability to unmute? Can we, Cheryl, do you have a mic? Okay, I can hear you. Okay, so Cheryl, talk to me a little bit about where you are right now and your vision. What kind of an income do you want to be able to generate? Okay, you just mute yourself out. Let's try again. Okay, there you go.
Good. It's still showing cross. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I initially want to do 10,000 a month. I want to hit that mark, but really my goal is 30,000 a month. And I want to master this lead generation and to get my business where I can really get it going and focus on that.
Okay. So, so let me ask you this, Cheryl, because this is really important for being able to open up this gateway, okay? Because this is one of the areas, and I'll share with you guys, where so many people go wrong when it comes to being able to get some liftoff, okay? Cheryl, what is the most amount of money that you've ever made online your whole life in a month?
Online,
Mhm.
probably 3,000.
Okay. So what I'm going to share with you is that if you want to get liftoff, right, and your brain is onto a zone that your subconscious mind can't even comprehend, right, it typically will go, yeah, right, and then nothing happens, like nothing, right? And people wonder why their business is just like, and nothing's going on because there's no step, right? So typically what I say to people is if you can get these little monumental steps. So here's an example, okay? When I set on this path with NWC, my intention, okay, my intention wasn't about how much money I was going to make, okay? My intention was on how many families I'm going to help. Big difference, especially when you want to deal with help from the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, right? So my intention was that I want to help 50 families add $100,000 to their yearly income. Now, quite honestly, I don't even know what that would generate for me, right? I know that if I do that, if I contribute that to the world, that the universe will reward me back. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So my intention wasn't on how much can I make. My intention was on how much can I give. See the difference in that, right? So now here's what happens. Here's what magically happened, right? Because my intention wasn't on me, it was on the other people. In a very, very short period of time, like I think in my first 40 days or something like that, I recruited 35 people, right? Because it wasn't about me, right? It was about what can I contribute to other people's lives to help them go get to their personal breakthrough, right? What can I share from my knowledge that's going to help another person get to their breakthrough, okay? Now, what becomes really amazing from this is that I don't know if you guys watched that one video or that one mentoring session where it was pretty emotional. I mean, I completely broke down on the Hangout. But do you know that I had like so many people reach out to me to ask me or to comment on it or to say, oh my God, I can't believe that how much of an impact that you had on Esteban's life. I mean, I was completely blown away. Some people watched it 2 and 3 times, okay? But it wasn't about me. You see what I mean? I mean, Esteban is, like, I got to tell you guys, like, if you had met Esteban in Nashville and to see him where he is now, he is a completely different person. Like, no joke, okay? He has totally stepped into a leadership role. He's putting out personal development videos not only in Spanish, but in English as well. So he's doing 2 languages. He's been at Millionaire Mastermind event in Orlando. He got himself all in, right? Now keep in mind, this is a person that comes from a country that only the average person there makes $200 a month, okay? And he's completely stepped into his power and stepped into his greatness, okay? Now what's happening is that, look at this, guys. I got goosebumps on my arms as I'm telling this story, okay? Like that, okay? Esteban basically is now becoming a ripple, right, like this, right, in his community, in his, his friends and followers. He's becoming like the host. What the heck is that? Wow, that was bizarre. Was that bizarre or what? Holy crap! It's like, oh wow. Okay, so you know what I want for you to understand, guys, here is that you know so many people, they get into this type of a business model, and they come from the world of features and benefits, right? You know, a car is power steering, power brakes, you know, a certain amount of horsepower, two-door, four-door, leather seats, custom interior. That's in the automotive industry. In the real estate market, it's how many bedrooms, how many square feet. You know, what does it have? Does it have a view? Does it have one story, two stories? Does it have a rooftop deck on it? You know, if you go into the mortgage broker industry, it's what's the interest rate? What are the payments? What's the term? Right? There's all these different components that are all features and benefit. Okay? Now, the interesting thing about this particular type of a business model, what you'll find is that the more that you as a leader, okay, this is a leadership business model, guys. It's not a sales pitch business model, and it's a big difference, okay? The leader is the person that recognizes that the people, the masses, okay, are going to run into certain roadblocks, and they're going to provide all the gateways and all the openings for those people to make their journey easier, right? That's the leader, okay? So what you've got to start to now do, I call this the polarity of the magnet, okay? It's internal, it's like a switch, okay? So in other words, that if all I'm doing is pitching, right? After a while, it's kind of like the boy that cried wolf, right? Nobody listens anymore, right? You just kind of get drowned out in amongst of all the other people that are just noise. It becomes noise, okay? What I will share with you is that you can present a business by telling a story, okay? You can present a business by telling a story, okay? Stories sell, facts only tell, right? And you have to learn how to have this kind of happy medium between, you know, just saying, hey, you interested in making money online? Watch this video type thing. And you know what? This reminds me of this story, you know, so there I was, you know, I'm stuck in traffic, right? And, you know, it's telling that story of it's like pulling somebody into your reality or into the reality of one of your business partners or one of your students, or, you know, this was the situation that this single mom was in, right? And she got up this one morning and both her kids were sick, and she knew that if she didn't get into work that she was going to get fired, but it was her only income that she had, and she was panicking. She didn't know what to do, right? She reached that breaking point, right? She finally drew that line in the sand, and she said, enough's enough, right? That's called speaking to the listening. Speaking to the listening. You're speaking to people's pain, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to share with you guys here is that, you know, 95% of your business is going to be right here, okay? Right here, right here. This is 95%. So when I first rolled out the program with NWC, right now Empower Network is doing a relaunch right now. So once you learn this type of formula, you can actually have multiple streams of income quite easily with the strategy. Okay, so if I look at you know, the income, the different income streams, there's multiple income streams that come in, right, from my marketing efforts, right? So sometimes I will you know, just be doing, you know, a headline in my subject and something that's going directly to the point to get them to watch the video. Other times I bring in stories, right? Stories of me and my son, stories of something that happened to me in my past, stories of when I was working in corporate America, right, as vice president of marketing for various different companies. So you've got to be able to sort of balance it, balance it out a little bit. Here's what I will share with you, and you can pretty much see this if you keep on emailing people. So if it's just biz up, 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 then people just start opting out, opting out, opting out, right? So you won't be able to maintain your list, right? So what I'm going to share with you guys here is that there's really a goal, right, to this whole type of a business model. Number one, you need to start looking at yourself as a leader and to start to do leadership type of activities. Okay, so this right here is a leadership type of activity, what I'm doing right here, okay? So what I want to be able to do is to share with you guys today some of the various different strategies that I use to be able to, I've made it almost $500,000 online, right? And when I first started in this industry, I never saw those type of numbers, guys. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I did the friends and family business model. I was at every single Saturday Quick Start training. I was on every single corporate call. I was one of the presenters, one of the trainers for the company. I did the full presentations in the hotel rooms. And even with thousands and thousands of people, I think one of my organizations was like 6,000 people, I never got more than $4,000 a month in residual income, right? And when that happened, I realized that for me anyway, that, there's a lot of people out there that have success with a conventional MLM business model. I'm just not one of them. I'll be honest, right? I was a great recruiter. I could build these giant organizations, but they just weren't paying enough money based upon how much effort that it took me to build them, right? And that one where I was working for a health and wellness company, I was in that company, guys, for almost 5 years. Okay, 5 years of being in that company, and my monthly residual income never got over $4,000 a month. When I realized that I could put that same amount of effort and energy into affiliate marketing and make as much as $3,000 in commissions for one transaction, that totally shifted everything for me. But if you combine that with some of the skills in networking, right, network marketing, which is this, right, team building, and helping other people to get to their breakthrough, now you got like a double whammy, right? Especially if you're in a position where you're going to get benefit from helping those people, right, which is the pass-ups, right? Okay, so Eric, can you unmute for a sec?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, so Eric, I know that you're a very successful chiropractor. You're in the health and wellness industry for quite some time, and you got quite an amazing following. Give me an idea, because I want to be able to. Now I want for you guys each to give me an idea of some of your challenges, some of your problems that you have with building your business, so that we can today help everybody solve these problems, because I'm going to show you how really easy this is. Okay, so Eric, let's start with you. Give me an idea. What would you say are your biggest challenges in your business, in online marketing, or what we're doing here with Empower and WC, whatever?
I would say the biggest struggle, one of the biggest things for every business really is finding the right traffic that's interested at the right time.
Okay,
You know,
so
there's the whole trickle down effect. You can get clicks and leads and stuff like that. That's great, no big deal. We can get leads all day long. But if those leads don't even open emails, okay, well then they read the emails. Are they even interested enough to click it? Once they click it, if they do anything about it, you know, where you find out where is that pond of fish that want what you have, are gonna follow through, are gonna buy it, those things too. So when you find that place, you bring as many fishing poles as possible, and you bring a whole net. And that's where you go. You just drop those nets and you just pick them up. That's my point. Is finding consistent, correct traffic that's interested in what we're buying or selling, so they can buy it.
Okay. Okay, so qualified buyers. Okay, Edgar, how about yourself? Edgar, you're muted, sir.
Hi, Darren. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. So, Edgar, give me an idea. You know, you've been around the industry for a while. You've been in a number of different programs. What have been your biggest challenges so far?
Basically, for me, it's just marketing the right way. I'm not really tech savvy, if you will, so I'm kind of new at that area. Lead generations, just finding great leads for your business, and that's basically what it is. It's just I'm just stuck in those areas. If I can actually master those areas, then I'll be awesome, and I'll be able to propel my business.
Okay, so learning how to market the right way and lead generation. Okay, so we got
Correct.
qualified buyers with Eric, lead generation, and learning how to market the right way with Edgar. Esteban?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what would you say are your biggest challenges that you have in your business?
Well, my biggest challenge, I think, is also qualified leads, and also the follow-up sequence, the email sequence, the follow-up, and connect that. Well, I think it's not difficult to connect that with Facebook, but most of all, like the follow-up, how to make the email marketing and stuff,
Okay, great. So email marketing follow-up. Helen?
Lead generation, and then I need to learn to say the right thing to the right person. A lot of the times, I get into a conversation, I just got sidetracked and didn't have the right word to the right person.
Okay. And I'm going to address that today for 100%. Okay. Okay, we've got Rona. Rona, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, you had just gone over with me the thing that was a challenge for me because I am such a newbie in social media. And but I did understand what you were saying. Like I was posting in the wrong place. So, that was quite embarrassing.
No,
But anyway, I know how to do PowerPoint and I know how to do all of those things, but because I was teaching myself, but I just needed to know where to post because I never really was a part of this social media network, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I like learning, and I'll just keep on trying.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so and Cheryl, what would you say are your biggest challenges? Cheryl?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Mine, I would say, are like I said, the building my list. I think I'm doing pretty good on chatting, even though that I haven't closed anything. I do have right now. I have 4 people that are saying they're getting the money. They're very interested, and I I believe they are because they keep coming back to me with more questions and stuff that's going on with me, and but anyways, it's so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I just got to put some more time in the chatting to get even better at it.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay, guys. So here's the first thing that I want to address. With everybody here on the call, that will really help you a lot. Okay. Now, we all know that the law of attraction is real. Okay. Would you guys agree with that? Would you agree with that? Okay. We all know that the law of attraction is real. It is a universal law, and it's actually based upon quantum physics. Okay. So the secret, right? The secret to manifesting anything that you want in your reality is really simple. This is the equation for manifestation. Okay, so here's how it works. You've got thought, right? Thought is where it starts, but it's the intention of it. So it's thought-directed emotion. Okay, thought-directed emotion. So when I talk to people about setting their intention versus setting their goal, okay, a goal is something that's dangling out there, but an intention has emotion behind it, okay? So the secret to manifestation is thought, directed emotion that generates feeling, okay? Now when I say that, guys, how do I feel? Boom, that fast, okay? Because I do this so much. I do this so much, guys. It's part of my physiology like that, right? To be sending out the quantum boom out to what I want, okay? Now, if you don't know who you want to attract, you will attract broke victims until you finally just get fed up, okay? Hear what I'm saying. If you do not define and get clear on what you want, who are your perfect business partners? Because if you don't know, the only people that you will get, and this is a universal lesson for you, to set your boundaries, okay? You have to be able to have a line in the sand, okay? So here's what I'm going to share with you. Don't feel that you need to be the savior, okay? Because you cannot save a victim. Okay, I'm going to repeat this again. Do not feel that you have to be the savior or that you even want to be the savior, okay? Because what's going to happen is that a victim energy is way down here, okay? The lowest vibration. You, as a manifester, need to be in a high vibration, and the low vibration will always win. So it will go like this. Your vibration will go like this. Down to their vibration, okay? So you have to get very clear on what you will and will not accept in your reality, okay? And in the event that you're not clear on this, guys, trust me when I tell you that everybody that shows up is going to be broke, have no money, have no job, right? They're practically homeless, they're on disability, they're only got $700 to $900 a month, maybe $1,200 a month coming in on a good month, right? Those really are not the people that are in a position to be in business with you, okay? Now, I don't mean to say this in, a bad way or in an egotistical way, because that's not what this is about, okay? In the event that a person wants to change their life and get into business, okay, guys, business costs money, okay? Whatever way you slice it. Now, compared to regular business, like a land-based business where you might need $100,000, one of the challenges I see in this industry overall is that it costs too little to get started. Okay, it's a big problem. Okay, costs way too little to get started. So you've got to be able to raise your standards in your reality, okay? Raise your standards of who you're going to allow to take up your time, okay? Now, if you don't value your time, nobody will value your time, okay? Really important. You don't value your time, nobody will value your time. If you don't feel that you provide value to other people, they won't feel that you provide value to them. Okay, it's a very interesting thing, that it's all based upon the law of attraction. So step one to your business is get very, very clear on who do you want to attract into your life. Okay, who is your perfect business partners? Okay. Now, here's what I will share with you. People say to me, Darren, how did you start in iPass as an example, when I rolled out iPass, and go from, you know, nothing to $25,000 a month in 90 days and get into the very top in yesterday and the week, the #1 spot, and get into the top 10 within, you know, I think it was 6 months. You know, how did that happen? What was your secret? Okay, here's the secret, guys. I got very clear on my perfect business partners. Step one, okay? So I wrote out a piece of paper and it said, my perfect business partners. Okay, I actually did this, okay? Now I can tell you that for me, and I'm going to help you guys right now to lift your vibrational frequency to be an eagle, okay? An eagle looking down, flying over top of a blueprint, okay, versus a hiker looking up at the top of a mountain, okay? Now, when I talk about, you know, going all in on your dream, I'm actually focused, my vibrational frequency is focused on the number 10,000, okay? That's the number that I actually focus on, 10,000. So I want a person, so who's going to be able to afford a $10,000 business? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. You only need 6 to 8. That's it. 6 to 8 people to never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, okay? But those 6 or 8 people have a budget. That's the difference, okay? The 6 to 8 people have a real budget, okay? Now, here's an example. So Eric, okay, Eric fits in my perfect business partners, okay? So here's my perfect business partners. And guys, this is really going to help you to look at the reality a lot differently, okay? Because I'm going to share with you my definition, okay? So typically they are married, okay? They typically have 2 children, okay? They typically have 2 cars, right? The husband and wife both have cars. They take a minimum of 2 vacations per year. They own their own home. A lot of them have a vacation property. The combined household income is $150,000 per year. Minimum, guys, okay? $150,000 a year. They have a gold, platinum, or titanium credit card, and when I tell them what they need to do, when they say, Darren, I want the freedom lifestyle, and I say, okay, basically what you've got to do is you've got to get all the products and go all in, and they go, okay, cool. I go log into your back office, click the link that says go all in, and you know, call me back when you're done, and we'll proceed to the first stage of millionaire mentoring, and they just do it, right? There's no resistance, right? Because that, you know, 3,500 or 5,200 or whichever program that you're in, whatever your all-in level is, even 7,500, it's not about that, because normally they would have to spend $100,000 to start a land-based business, and that doesn't include advertising, it doesn't include inventory, it doesn't include staffing costs. They know what real business costs, guys. So the $5,000 or the $10,000 is like this little tiny mini thing based upon what they would have to spend to have the other path, and they would really just be getting a job. Okay, and if you talk to anybody who's bought a Subway franchise, they will tell you. I know multiple people that have Subway franchises. They only make about 60 grand a year. Okay, and a lot of times the front end debt takes them about 5 years to pay off. Right. Other people that I know that have had franchise pizza places, it's the same thing. They might be paying $250,000 off over the course of a 5-year period of time, so they don't even really make any real money until their 5th year in business. Imagine that, right? With a huge upfront risk and really living almost like in poverty for the first 5 years until they can get that business into some type of liftoff. Okay, so in order to get clear on that, you have to individually feel worthy, right? Because the first thing, because of the human condition, now what's the human condition? We come into the world, guys, knowing everything, and the world programs us to know nothing. So we hear no, don't, stop, be careful for the first part of our life when we don't even know the language, right? And that repetitive stuff creates the human condition: deservability, worthiness, self-love, and boundaries. You've got to be able to master those 4 things in order to master the reality, okay? Now, how are you going to be able to do that? You're going to do that with self-love, okay? So you need to make it a goal each day when you get up out of bed and you get out of the shower to look at yourself deep into your reflection, okay? Like literally where you're hypnotized into your own eyes going right through you, right? And you need to say, I love you, your first name, just the way you are. 10 times. Okay? Just like push-ups. 10 times. Okay? Now, after you're done that, you're going to say, I accept myself unconditionally, even though a part of me feels that I don't deserve to be successful. Okay? I accept myself unconditionally. Here are the words, guys. I accept myself unconditionally, even though a part of me feels that I don't deserve to be successful. Okay? Now, I don't know when this will happen for you, but it will happen. Okay? It might happen on day 5, day 7, day 10, day 15, day 20. I don't know when. But one day is going to be like any other day, and you're going to get up and you're going to be saying these words, and part of your consciousness is going to go right through your eyes into the time continuum, and bam, you're going to connect with the 5-year-old little boy or little girl that just needs to have a hug, that just needs to know that everything's going to be okay. And you're going to, Pandora's box is going to go, and you're going to let out some emotions. That's where it's going to start, guys. That is the start of your new path. That is the start of you feeling worthy, finally, to feel worthy of your greatness, to know that abundance is your birthright, to know that there's not enough money in the world that can pay you for your worth. Now, if you don't feel worthy of it, then you've got a blocker. Okay, so in other words, imagine this river is running, right? And you're just a rock in the river. So you're like this, right? Now the only thing that can happen is that rock can get pummeled, right? Now that happens in the first level of the game, which is called victimhood. And now it's not a bad thing, guys. You got to understand that it's not a bad thing because the rock gets polished. And that's a good thing, right? But if you want to now move to the next level, you've got to surrender. Let that dam that you've had up all this time go to let the abundance come in. Be the sponge. Be the sponge. Let the river flow through you, right, instead of around you, right, which most people do. Does this make sense when I'm saying this stuff, Helen? Does this make sense? Helen, you there? We lost Helen. Okay, so guys, what I want to first of all, address a couple of things that, now I'm going to share a bunch of stuff with you guys today. It doesn't mean that you have to do these things. I'm going to share with you what the top marketers do, what the top leaders do, in order to build rapport with people without even talking to them. How do you generate a list without even having any conversation with a person? Okay? So I want to share with you some different ideas. And it doesn't make them right or wrong. I just want to share with you some of the strategies that I do, right? Okay. So let's just go into, okay. So I want to show you guys here as an example two different types of emails that I will use in order to sell a product or sell a program, right? This one just says the shortcut to making 6 figures from home, okay? And you can see it's a very short email, so it just gets right to the point. Still looking to make money from home? Here's the shortcut to 6 figures from home. Watch the video, okay? Now, what I do is I identify something in the video, right, that I think may pique somebody's curiosity. Okay, so it says, listen closely to the story of the single mom with 2 kids that had never had any success online before. It will really touch your heart. Okay, now I haven't used a lot of words here, guys, but I've said a lot in these little words. Okay, so I'm telling them it's a shortcut to making 6 figures from home, right? I'm asking them a question, right? So I go, still looking to make money from home? They go, yeah, I am. Okay, well, here's the shortcut to 6 figures from home. Watch the video, right? So then I bring in something that's going to emotionally connect with them, okay? So this is something that goes directly to the point. This is an email that is a story, okay? So this story is going to be about me and my son, and the headline says, "This one conversation with the one conversation with my son changed everything." Okay, so it's a picture of me and my boy. My son's 16. He goes to school in Carlsbad. He's at the Army and Navy Military Academy right now, and he's been actually going through Millionaire Mentoring sort of by default, because he comes here for 6 weeks during the summer, and I do these Millionaire Mentoring sessions, okay, which he sits at the table playing his video games, and I didn't even realize how much he was getting from my Millionaire Mentoring until I did one call, and he said, "Hey, Dad, when's your next call?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You know, the calls you do. When's your next one?" And I said, I don't know, why? He goes, "I don't know. I just really find them interesting." Okay? So this is my son now at 16, right? So the story says, I'm talking to my son the other night. He tells me that he's working on his first website and has this vision on how he's going to generate $30,000 to $50,000 a month with a specific niche for kids his age. Wow, I was grinning from ear to ear. There were times when we were talking that he sounded like me talking on my Millionaire Mentoring calls. I was like, what the heck? There's something to be said about our DNA and how it carries information that's transferred into our children. He's on the Dean's List with a 4.0 GPA, and last year he got his first scholarship. I sure am proud of him. So I tell him about what I'm up to with this new automated system online, and he says, Dad, you should give people a Millionaire Mentoring coaching session if they take the trial offer of that system. They will benefit huge. Their life will completely transform. Look what the mentoring has done for me, Dad, just from over the summer holiday. There I sat listening to my son at 16 years old in complete awe of where he will be in his life in the next 10 years. So I thought about it, and I realized he's right. So from now until midnight PST tonight on October 31st for the next 5 people, I'm going to throw in a $397 Millionaire Mentoring coaching session as a bonus just for taking the trial of this automated system. This is the same training that has added $456,978.26 to my income. Okay, so this is an email that I'm just working on right now. Now, here's the interesting thing. If I sent out the same email, guys, okay, without this story, okay, without taking people through these emotions, because they may have kids that are the same age and thinking like, what's different about this kid that has him thinking this stuff at 16 and on a path to actually doing it versus maybe what their kids are doing right now, right? What's different? So if I had sent out the same email and just said, you know, hey everyone, I'm offering a $397 Millionaire Mentoring coaching session as a bonus just for taking the trial of this automated system, it wouldn't have the same type of an impact as the story, right? Stories sell, facts only tell, okay? So now here's another thing that I'm going to share with you guys. You know, a lot of people get into business and they first get in and they come from the features and benefits, so they're just looking for something that they can pitch. Then they realize in order to be a professional marketer, they need to have an autoresponder. What's an autoresponder for? An autoresponder is going to help you build a list, okay? And it's going to help you automatically communicate with your list without having to actually, send out emails, okay? So as an example, so if I look at these emails that I've sent out, I can get an idea, I can sort of gauge them on how many people open them, how many people click on the video, right? And how the different headlines are, you know, I can sort of evaluate, right, on what's pulling the most with the most amount of open rate and the most amount of click-through rate, right? These are 2 factors that become very, very important as a marketer, because this is your follow-up campaign, guys, okay? This is your follow-up campaign. This is you building rapport or relationship with your list, okay? Now, when I used to get these emails, as an example, from Frank Kern, I thought, like, what the heck? Dude, open me? This is insane. But look at the amount of click-through rate. 928 opens, 162 clicks, okay? I can tell you that each time that I use that type of headline, I get a ridiculous amount of interaction, right? This only comes, guys, from testing, right? Testing, tweaking to find out what is going to work, right? So this is an autoresponder. Now, what I'll share with you about, I've actually got 2 autoresponders. I got Aweber and I've also got GetResponse, okay? And I like to test them to see, you know, which one's getting more open rate, which one's getting more click-through rate. But these are just basic tools, guys, okay? People start a business and they don't realize, like, okay, so you don't have to pay a lease for your office space, which you would have to do if you had a coffee shop. You don't have to hire staff in order to run your business. You don't have to go out and buy inventory to run your business, but there are some basic costs that you need to have if you want to be a multiple six-figure or a seven-figure income earner. Now, guys, that's not for everybody, okay? You may be in NWC or Empower Network or iPass or have some other program that you're personally in, and you just want to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, okay? But if you want to be a professional marketer, these are the basic tools that you need to be able to have leverage, okay? So if I go into here as an example, I'm going to show you guys an example. Okay, so this is a follow-up campaign for when iPass was launching. Okay, so now these are my automatic emails that are going out that I don't have to actually send. So if you opt in on day one, you're going to get this, hey, nice to meet you. If on day two, you're going to see, did you see this? On day three, you're going to see 100% risk-free, whatever. On day four, you're going to see call me crazy, but on day five, you're going to say wanted new business partners. But I want to give you an idea of some of the other emails that I send out. Okay, so here's this one. Okay, now keep in mind, I will write stuff like this, and if it's converting, I just leave it. If it's not converting, I change it. Okay, so let's go into the edit, and I'll just give you an idea. So what does this say? So the headline says the results are shocking. Okay, let's see what the autoresponder actually says. Okay, so it's got a bow and arrow thing here. It says my personal story. Using the iPass 2 system, I've personally made almost $120,000 so far. It's given me so much freedom and lifestyle as the system does almost all of the work for me. I love iPass 2. Now, guys, keep in mind, I'm a marketer, right? I have got multiple income streams. I've got National Wealth Center, Empower Network, iPass, My Lead System Pro. I got different affiliate programs like Magnetic Sponsoring and Aweber, Get Response, because I've set myself up to make income. That's what I'm in business to do, is to make income. Right? So I want to give you an idea. This could be anything in here, okay? So what you've got to understand as a marketer is that in this little area, right, this could be, since I got involved with NWC, blah, 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 and, you could be talking about some people on your team if you don't have an income story yet. You could be talking about people that are in the Side Freedom team that are having amazing success stories. You could even screen capture other people, guys. This is what I'm talking about, surrendering to the team, surrendering your pride and your ego. Don't think that all the stories have to be personally about you, because they don't, okay? I send out Chad Turner to my list. I send out Tracy Turner to my list. I've sent out Rex Harris, Eric Green. I've sent out Mary Barnett. I've sent out Sonia Davis to my whole list, guys. I post people on my wall. I edify other leaders on my wall. Why do I do that? Because it's an abundant universe, and you've got to understand this concept. Lack is an illusion. Lack is something that we as human beings in the first level of the game, which is victimhood. Whoever came on, can you please mute yourself out because you're shuffling around? Whoever in the first level of the game, most of those people are fear-based. So they feel that there's a piece of pie, and that if other people get from that piece of the pie, that they're losing. It doesn't work that way, guys. What you got to understand is that you are in a holographic, replenishing universe. Every single person on the planet, whoever logged on, can you please mute yourself out because you're shuffling and it's very distracting. Please, if you've logged on right now, hit the mute button, please. Okay, I'm asking for a second time. So So let's look now at, you know, what I put in this email. Okay, so this one says, what does it mean to have freedom? We all dream about having freedom. This is called speaking to the listening, guys. Speaking to the listening. We all dream about having freedom, the ability to go wherever we want, whenever we want, for however long we want. But most people are never given that opportunity. They get tied into responsibility of their rent or mortgage, insurance, car payments, gas, cell phones, grocery, clothing, entertainment, and the cost of raising their children. And before you know it, they're stuck. They work a job they can't stand because it pays the bills. They never really get ahead, and even though they have a big dreams, their life never seems to go anywhere. This is called speaking to the listening. Okay? I'm speaking to their reality and I'm speaking to their pain, right? This, when you speak to somebody's pain, they go, hey, wait a second, that's me. That's my life, okay? So then what's going to happen now? I speak to their pain, and now I leverage and I say, well, here's what I found, right? Now, this could be anything. This could be, you know, when I found the magnetic sponsoring system, it all changed for me. When I found National Wealth Center, it all changed for me. When I found iPass2, it all changed for me. When I found Empower Network, it all changed for me, okay? It doesn't matter. I want to share with you guys that it doesn't matter what you're marketing. It's all the same process. And once you get this, your confidence level is going to go completely vertical, because you'll realize and you'll understand the formula, okay? So you want to be able to relate to the person, speak in something that they can relate to, speak to their pain, speak to their problem, and then ignite their passion somehow, okay? So it says, watch the video. I originally started out with the blog platform, the Inner Circle Mindset Training. Okay, so what I did in this particular case, you could do with the $25, $50, and $100 in NWC. It's exactly the same. So I'm showing you guys this, which is something that's non-related in a way, so that you can go, holy crap, I could do that same thing exactly like this, and it doesn't matter what you're marketing here, okay? Okay, so this gave me an online voice to start sharing more about my personal journey. Every day I plugged into the Mindset audios and shared some of my personal breakthroughs on my blog. Okay, so what are, you know, the first levels of National Wealth Center are all about what? Self-development, mindset, right? The next one, the next level is business development. The next level is wealth development. So you've got to now say, okay, how are these products going to benefit people? What are they going to do for the people? How are they going to help them eliminate their pain? How are they going to help them eliminate their problem? Okay? So what does it say? Then I decided to scale up. Using a little bit of paid traffic and social media to share my results, I started to see traction. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the people right behind the scenes so that they can understand the psychology of my business, okay? This is called the naked soul. This is complete vulnerability, okay? So this is me actually showing my real results on how much money did I spend on traffic, what were my total leads generated, how many sales did I make, how many team members did I bring in, and what was my total revenue, right? So I show them exactly what I did, right? This means that this entire campaign was not only profitable, but it generated 342 additional interested prospects. No hounding your friends and family. This is what people hate doing in the industry. Over time, the system started to grow exponential. My best month so far using the system was over $22,000, and my best 2 days so far was $7,925. Okay, watch the video. To be honest, if it hadn't happened for me, I may never have believed that it could be possible to be sent commission notifications throughout the day without even picking up my phone. All I know is I was willing to do whatever it took. I had no excuses. This is speaking to the listening again now on the other side, okay? So I'm speaking to the listening for the pain, and I'm speaking to the listening with the solution to their problem, but I'm talking about my story but I'm speaking to them at the same time. I'm literally telling them what they need to do. All I know is I was willing to do whatever it took. I had no excuses. I took massive action and threw my hat over the wall and just went for it. I highly recommend the iPass 2 system to create freedom for you and your family. I'm very easy to reach. Now, this is the ability to be able to be to be able to be relatable or connectable. Okay, I'm very easy to reach. If you want to speak with me personally about your goals and what it is that you would like to achieve. I now have dozens and dozens of students that have completely turned their lives around in 90 days or less. Okay, so this is speaking to the listening again. You see how this works, guys? So make it a great day. Darren Little, blah, 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 author of MLM Affiliate Magic, and there's a picture. All my stuff here, my phone number, my Skype, follow me on Facebook, and now I'm adding my blog, which is another thing that I'm going to show you guys. Now, guys, you don't have to do these things, okay? But people say, Darren, can you help me become a millionaire? I say, absolutely I can, right? And then I say, well, these are the things that I do. You don't have to do these things, guys. Okay, you don't have to. I'm going to share with you the things that I do that have allowed me to make almost $500,000, okay? Okay. So this is a blog post that I did that has generated the most amount of money for me, guys. And when I show you this, you might be thinking to yourself, are you for real? Like, how could that, that one blog post, this one blog post has generated for me over $12,000, okay? Now, it's a picture of me and my son, okay? So, and look at the headline, spending more quality time with my son. This is what people want, okay? I'm speaking to the listening, okay? You guys want to really remember this saying, speaking to the listening, right? That's speaking to people's reality, speaking to their pain, speaking to them drawing a line in the sand, speaking to connecting them to their passion and their dream, right? Getting them to lift up and inspire them into motivation to, boom, take action and take their life to the next level. Okay, so here's the story. Okay, so it says, spending more quality time with my son taught me this, okay? Repetition is the mother of all learning. When we hear things repeated over and over, they become part of our subconscious mind, and that's where the learning really begins. Okay, so I start off with this little quote, okay? Now watch how I ask questions. So it's going to be like me and you sitting across the table from one another. Now this is what people don't understand about a blog. Okay, now you'll notice I don't have any paragraphs. You'll notice that there's a whole bunch of white space around it that makes it really super easy to go through this copy. Okay, so it's not jumbled up. I never have more than 2 things on one line before I make a space. Okay, very important, guys. Okay, so let's look at this story. Do you remember when you were a kid and you heard your parents saying things like, money doesn't grow on trees. It takes money to make money. A penny saved is a penny earned. You got to work hard for your money. Do you remember statements like that? Okay, so I'm talking to you like you're sitting across the table from me. I sure do. It's these repetitive statements that we hear over and over that shape our reality. It's these repetitive statements that shape our success and our failures in life. It's these repetitive statements that we say to our children and to ourselves that shape our destiny. Okay, now I'm going to tell a story. Okay, stories sell, facts only tell. So here it is, Friday night, and I'm really missing my son. His name is Drayson, and he goes to school in San Diego, so I only see him on holidays a few times a year. Hard to believe he's 15 already. They sure grow up fast, don't they? Notice how I'm asking more questions in the story, like they're sitting there, okay? My niece Tamara actually took that picture of us at the top of the blog post during the winter holiday. She really captured our energy that day, didn't she? See these questions, guys? So proud of her. So I sit down to write an email today, and all of a sudden, boom, instant flashback. I have this flashback to this past Christmas holiday when I was with my son, Drayson. I had taken him on another exotic car run to the exotic car dealerships in downtown Vancouver, off for another one of our crusades to take a look at the most current exotic cars and tap into our future realities. It was a profound day, I must say, not because we were at the exotic car dealership, but because of what we both learned that day from one another. So here's a picture now of my son next to this Lamborghini Hurricane. My son Drayson with the Lamborghini Hurricane. You see, I make a lot of trips to the exotic car dealerships, not just once or twice a year. I'm talking often, like once every week to 10 days. It's part of the millionaire formula that I learned while working with Dr. Lee Poulos in my 30s. It's a strategy that I cover in detail in the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery training, and one strategy that I attribute making my first $1 million to. Now, you'll see, guys, that I haven't really said a lot of stuff yet, but I've implanted a lot of stuff. Okay, so what do we have? We got millionaire formula. We've got how I go to these exotic car dealerships so often. Dr. Lee Poulos, right, who's an expert in his field. Something that's going to pique their curiosity, special sauce, that they want to find out more about it, right? And it's directly linked to success, right? My first $1 million. During Drayson's summer holiday, we had made 4 exotic car runs over his 6-week summer break. And here he was back again for Christmas, okay? It's time, Drayson, I said one morning. Time for what? He said. It's time to make another exotic car run, I said. He grins. So we hop in my SUV and we head downtown to Vancouver, a 35-minute drive from my place. It's my favorite trip of the week. There's no better time for me than hanging out with my son on a sunny day and looking at the exotic cars in all shapes and colors, some of them carrying price tags of as much as $1.9 million. If you've not made this part of your reality, I tell you, you're completely missing the boat. And it's not whether or not you want one, it's whether or not your brain can justify ever spending $250,000 to $569,000 or even $1.9 million on a car. It's not about that. In fact, it has nothing to do with that. Making these trips to the exotic car stores could very well be the most significant thing that shifts your reality from this day forward. Okay? Here's why. You see how the story is boom. And now I'm going to keep on going. So I build up, and here's why. And now I pull them down even further. So once you learn this formula, guys, you can turn a story into an income generator like you've never possibly imagined, because people get entertained as they're reading your story, and that's what is going to make you money, okay? You see, everything in the world is made up of atoms and molecules. But what are the atoms and the molecules made up of? They're made up of the electrons. And those electrons carry with them a certain vibrational frequency. And just by being in the presence of certain things, that frequency transfers over to us as human beings. And by allowing that frequency in and surrendering to it, we can actually be that frequency. In essence, we can raise our vibrations just by being in the presence of things that carry a higher vibrational resonance. That's why we're called human beings. We can be whatever vibration we want to be, just like tuning into a radio station, as long as we're awake and we can hear our own self-talk. You see, success is a radio broadcast frequency, and the faster you realize this, the faster you will be able to advance. Okay, now watch how I go back into the story. So now I'm back into the reality. So we start off at the Aston Martin store with this Vantage V12. Then on to the Aston Martin Vanquish. Then we jump on over to the Bentley store and we see the Bentley Continental GT convertible. Then on over to this 4-door Bentley Mulsanne, such a classy executive car. Then we head over to the McLaren store to see the McLaren 650S. Then over to the Lamborghini store. By this time, we both had a super big dose of electrons from these exotic cars, and we're both feeling supercharged. Drayson looks over to me and says, "Dad, I get it now." "What do you get?" I say. He says, "Remember the last time we came here and I was asking you why you always come to these exotic car dealerships because you don't have $500,000 cash to buy one of these right now? And you told me about the frequency of the cars and the electrons and the energy transference that takes place?" I said, "Yes." Well, he says, "I get it now. I know exactly what you mean. I get it." So there I stood in shock. I realized that over the course of the summer and the winter holiday, he'd probably heard me talk about the wave particle theory in dozens and dozens of coaching calls, Google Hangouts, and presentations. The repetition of me talking about the same concepts and ideas over and over and over, and how we create our own realities through our thoughts, words, and emotions. The repetition of me talking about how there are two worlds that exist simultaneously, everything we want and everything we don't want. The repetition of me talking about energy transference multiple times per day. And for about half a second, as I looked at him and explained to me the principles that I repeated dozens and dozens of times in the months prior without even realizing he was listening, I could feel the universe bend. Oh man, this is just... Guys, this right here has nothing to do with selling products, and it will make you rich. When you get this, when you realize that your life has meaning, your personal breakthroughs have meaning, and if you share with the world about your lessons, your passion, your vision, your pain, what took you to your personal breakthrough, bam, the gateway opens and the universe showers you with abundance. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is the real thing. Now, this blog post has made me the most amount of money about anything. I'm not, what am I pitching? What am I even selling here? Right? Have I sold anything here? I haven't sold anything. And I smiled as my 15-year-old son got the universal lesson that has taken me more than 4 decades to discover. What was even cooler was that he came to me with this newfound revelation, like he had just uncovered a hidden treasure buried in the sand with an explanation of how it all worked. I was grinning from ear to ear to think of where he might be in 40 years, knowing what he knows now at only 15. What an incredible day of life lessons for both my son and I, as we hung out with the high-energy electrons at the exotic car dealerships. A day filled with passion, a day filled with revelations, a day of personal breakthroughs, a day I will never forget. What was even better was that while I was spending that quality time with my son, my online business was cranking out a steady stream of commissions. To find out how I do it, go here. Do you see how that whole thing wrapped up into that one thing, the one line right here, the whole build-up, okay? In summary, never estimate the power of repetition. Repetition is the mother of all learning. But be aware that repetition of negative thoughts, words, pictures, and emotions will have a negative impact on your life. That's what will absorb into your subconscious and start to shape your destiny. Repetition of positive thoughts, words, pictures, and emotions, on the other hand, will have a positive impact on your life. Repetition of this will absorb into your subconscious mind and make the creation of your dreams easy and effortless. To find out how I was able to make more than $10,000 from this one blog post alone, go here. See how that works, guys? Now, what the heck was I talking about for this whole time? It was about life lessons. It was about a story. It was about a story about me and my boy. Can you guys see the impact of what I'm talking about here? Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys here is that a lot of people don't give value to their struggle. How about that? A lot of people don't give value to their breakthrough. A lot of people don't give value to their relationships that they've had in their life that where they could have been pain over here and turned into power over here. They don't give any credit to a book that they've read that's changed their life, a movie that they've watched that's changed their life, a mentoring program that they've gone through that's changed their life, something that's shifted internally in here and in here, their head and their heart, right? And when you guys realize that's the power of marketing, you are the product. Your breakthrough is going to help another person break through. And when you get that, everything starts to shift in your world. Everything. Because you will no longer feel that you have to pitch people. You will genuinely get that this model is about helping people. And your personal breakthroughs are going to help other people break through. Going from your struggle to your shift is what people need to hear about. Going from being in the fog over here to being in the clear vision over here. That's what people need to hear about. And if you can express that and be prepared to be that naked soul, to just open up like this and be vulnerable, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. The more that you share your story, the more that you're going to get clear, emotionally clear. And if you're emotionally clear, then you've got no blockers. And when you have no blockers, guess what magically happens? You start manifesting money. Right? Is this awesome, guys? Like, seriously, it's really super easy. Right? It's really super easy. So what you've got to understand about marketing is that you aren't separate from your products. You are the product. You are the product. This is the product, guys. The product is leadership, right? And the moment that you get that, there's this osmosis thing that takes place where you can just go, you can realize that there's all these people out there with pain, okay? There are all these people out there with pain, okay? And you are the gateway to open up this other side that's going to help them solve their problem. But what's their problem? I don't know. Let's go talk to them and find out, right? And they're not going to share their problem with you until you get a connection, okay? A connection. Okay, now what is going to connect one person to another person? Okay, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. They also do business with people that they're either like or that they aspire to be like. Okay? Now, what determines whether or not a person, a complete total stranger, okay, whether they like you or they don't like you, okay? If a person sees them in you, they like you, okay? So if you have just a couple of things in common with a person, so you need to make it a goal, and after a while this just becomes natural. It's called rapport. What's rapport? Rapport is finding things in common, okay? If you find 3 things in common with a person in 5 minutes, they like you. How about that? They don't even know why. They're from Hawaii, you're from Hawaii. They like you, okay? They're from Hawaii, you've been to Hawaii. They like you, okay? This is what you got to understand. Your brain needs to start to work like a computer. So Tom, where are you from? I'm from Saskatchewan. Oh, no way. I was in this, basketball tournament thing when I was in high school, and we actually went to Saskatchewan. Right? There's a bridge there that brings them into this. Okay? Synergy. Okay? So whatever it is, okay? Now, so here's the way that the brain needs to think. Okay? So wherever you're from, have I been there? Do I know anybody there? Do I have any relatives there? Are any family members there? Do I have any business partners there? What do I have in common with that? Okay? What do I have in common if I say, I've got a son that's 16 years old? Do you have kids? Right? Actually, I've got 2. Right? How old are they? Right? Oh, they're 10 and 2. Right? Oh man, I remember this time when my son was 2. See what I mean, guys? So that creates this synergy, right? So what you've got to understand about this is your goal is finding things in common, okay? Now, once you do that, your next goal is to change a person's state, change their state, okay? You want to change their state and get them to laugh, okay? Now, when you can get a person to laugh, they completely open up. They will tell you their whole life story. No joke, guys. If their marriage is on the rocks, they will tell you. If their credit cards are maxed out, they will tell you. If their car's in repo, they will tell you. If they hate their job, they will tell you. Now, how is that possible? To take a total, complete stranger and have them literally tell you everything that's going on in their life. How's that possible? Here's how it's possible. The moment that you become clear, emotionally clear. Now, how's that going to happen? Your gateway, guys, to your future is in cleaning up your past. Okay, that includes the relationships with your parents. That includes all the people that have ripped you off, taken advantage of you. That includes all the tragedies that you've had, all the physical ailments that you've had, all the accidents that you've been through, the bankruptcy, the failed businesses, the failed marriages. All that stuff is your blocker. That's what's holding you back there. Okay? So once you realize this, you make it literally like your full-time job, right? In that first stage, to be able to forgive yourself. Love yourself enough to realize that your pain, your struggle, your hardship is all being created by you, to you, for you. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by you, to you, for you? Okay? In order for us to advance, guys, to the next level where you become a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, tens of millions, all the way up to get to the point where you can be a billionaire, okay, is that you have to be clear. Clear. You can't advance to the next levels of the game, guys, unless you clean up that, right? If you don't clean that up, you're not going forward. Does this make sense? Right? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you guys. Most of the time when I start to talk about a lot of these things, when I get on my Millionaire Mentoring coaching sessions with my students, and they say, Darren, I want to take my life to the next level. I go, okay, give me the Coles Notes version of your life. And they go, what are you talking about? I want to take my business to the next level. I go, I know, that's what we're doing. And they go, well, how's that work? Your gateway to your future is in cleaning up your past. And it starts off with the relationship with your parents. Okay, have you ever noticed how kids grow up and they're always looking for their parents' approval? Who here's noticed that? Notice that? Okay. That doesn't go away, guys, so don't think that you've escaped that, right? If you have issues back there where you are still seeking the approval of parents that are negative, that are destructive, that suppress you down, that talk down to you, that tell you that you're a loser, that you're never going to make it, these type of things, that's what your blocker is, guys, because you're repeating their stuff in your head, right, which is creating a blocker right here for you to advance forward. Okay, how could a little kid get to the next level to win the race when the parents are telling them that they're no good, or that they're a loser, or that they're not worthy, or that they could never do it? Oh, come on, you're so clumsy. Oh, you'll never be able to do that. Come on, pick it up. Think about it. That's the inner child. That's where the healing's got to be, right? So, guys, let me ask you this. I just want to go back out to the panel here. Dawn, can you unmute yourself? Dawn? Okay, let's go over to Edgar.
Hey, Darren, can you hear me?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Edgar, give me an idea on the stuff that we've gone through so far. Is a lot of this starting to make sense to you?
It is, definitely. I took some notes, just like you said. It's great. You know, I mean, a lot of great things I've been learning from you, you know, just in this webinar by itself. So it's a lot of stuff that's going to be really helping me in my business and in my personal life as well. So I thank you for that.
Fantastic. So as I'm talking about some of these things, like the relationship with their parents, and the trials and tribulations that we go through in the first level of the game, guys, just so you know, there is something right here, okay, right here, okay, it's called the Pandora's box. This is where all that stuff is stored, all those events, all those emotions, okay? Now, once you're at the end of the first level of the game, guess what happens? The spiral happens. Your whole reality completely implodes, okay? Now, it seems like that's the world doing it to you. It's you doing it to yourself because you're ready to advance to the next level, right? You're ready to move from victimhood to become the victor, right? To turn your pain into your power and your push, your launch, right? Now, when you realize that it is a video game, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to get to your breakthrough, right? Way easier. So this part of this spiral thing that happens for people, guys, don't think that it's only you if it's happening for you, okay? Because it's happening all around the world right now, more so than ever before, okay? More so than ever before. Our human race is going through the awakening, where we're going to the next level in our reality, right? So just trust that this is happening worldwide. It's not just in your reality. It's in everybody's reality, right? Okay, so what I want to focus here on, guys, Rona, can you unmute for a sec? Rona? Okay, Rona, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Sure. Can you hear me?
I
Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. So Rona, give me some, tell me about what's been going on in your mind this time where we've been going through this.
Well, I have never learned so much in my life about this multi-level marketing, and I love it. And as you were telling us about the spiral, I feel that I had to go back into my past because it's not my parents that got in my way. It was my second grade teacher. She told me that I was the dumbest in the class. And that does affect you. And I carry that all that I still know what my second grade teacher looks like. I was the dumbest in the class, and I was the dumbest girl, and Jonathan, another little boy, was the dumbest boy, and she spearheaded bullying for me, and that did affect me. But I feel that with hearing you, that I'm letting go a lot of that because it was still baggage that I was carrying. And this feels like something like I'm in this team, and I really feel like I want to go further. I feel very, very strong about this, and I feel like I'm going to really, I really feel I'm going to skyrocket. When you went like that, I feel like that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spiral in a little while, and I feel real mighty about this. I can't wait to get back on Facebook and network with you know, in the social media.
Okay, fantastic. Well, those are some really great, you know, realizations and breakthroughs. That's awesome. Congratulations. Okay, Cheryl, can you unmute?
Okay.
Cheryl, as I'm talking about this stuff, are you starting to have a lot of revelations happening right now as we're talking about this?
Yeah.
Can you see how holding on to these past things has actually been literally like a concrete wall in front of you that, you know, that's where the gateway is, just so you know, right? And there's got to be a lot of forgiveness that takes place back there, and you know, you can't be scared of your Pandora's box, because it's going to be, you know, you're going to have to go through some emotional stuff. So what? On the other side of it, it's like beautiful sunshine, right? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what you know, from the stuff that we've talked about here today with storytelling, and did you see how that one blog post, guys, had nothing to do with me selling my business? Did you guys see that? It wasn't until I got down to the very bottom that I said, while I was doing this, that, and the other thing, my online business was, you know, sending you automated commissions. If you want that to go here. It was like one sentence. The rest of it was all about me and my son, right? You notice that? You guys notice that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, that's
so
incredible.
I'm going to show you, I'll show you one blog post, guys, that in 24 hours, generated 5 signups. You want to see that? Okay,
Yeah.
5 signups in 24 hours. Okay, now, this, quite honestly, when I show you this, it may completely shock you. It may completely shock you with what I'm about to share with you, okay? And I'm going to also, I'm going to show you a couple of different things on my blog, okay? What created the most amount of money, right, was actually family. Family. That's what created the most amount of money, was because that's what people want, especially if they have children, guys, just so you know. If they've got kids, they want more quality time with their kids. And that's what I put right into the headline. Spending more quality time with my son taught me this, okay? Okay, so I'm going to show you something else that I'm telling you, when you see this, you're going to be like, are you for real? I can't get over that. Oh, my God. Okay, so here we go. So that was the blog post with me and my son. That's created the most amount of money so far. Okay. This blog post, guys, I'm blown away myself. Okay. It says, my extreme mountain adventure, you'll never guess what happened. Okay, so you'll notice that the headline creates some curiosity. And this particular picture that I used, you know, it looks like this ATV unit could be toppling right over into that waterfall, and that we took the picture right before it happened, right? So I want for you to watch the writing of the story, because this is storytelling, guys. And the better that you get at storytelling, the more that you will captivate your audience, okay? The faster you will build rapport with your audience because you'll pull them right into your reality, okay? Okay, so it says, one of the very few days that my alarm clock ever goes off, okay, this is speaking to the listening, okay? One of the very few days that my alarm clock ever goes off is when I go on an extreme adventure or I go on vacation. Now, I haven't said a lot of words right now, but I've said a lot of words because most people wake up to an alarm clock every single day, but the only time I wake up to an alarm clock is when I'm going on an adventure or I'm going away on a vacation so that I can catch my flight. That's exactly what happened on Sunday, March 1st, 2015. 7 a.m. sharp, the buzzer goes off. No need to hit the snooze button. That's speaking to the listening again. No need to hit the snooze button. I jump out of bed, totally alert, hit the showers, get dressed, and head on over to my good friend Warren Candellan's place. It's very important in business to associate yourself with other highly successful entrepreneurs. You'll become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Warren is a very successful entrepreneur who runs a highly profitable brand strategy and promotional supply company here locally in Langley, BC. We then head over to meet up with Doug and Rita Hazelwood, 2 more successful entrepreneurs that own their own home renovations business. Then it's off to get some gas for the vehicles before we set out on our extreme mountain adventure. Okay? Now, I'm going to take people right into the actual reality that I'm in. Okay, so I'm going to pull them right into the world. I better get a large coffee and a breakfast wrap to start things off and grab some lunch and snacks for the epic mountaintop view we're about to experience. We get bundled up with a few layers of clothes to handle the chilling winter day on the mountaintop, and off we go. I gotta say, come to think of it, it's pretty cool when you can go to bed whenever you feel tired and get up whenever you feel rested each day. That's one of the perks about working from home and being your own boss. So see how I kind of drop that in there? That's something that everybody wants, but they don't have because they got to go to work. So there we are, all bundled up, ready to attack the mountain trails and make our way up to the very top. Okay, so there we are on our, it was cold up there. I mean, keep in mind, you're going up to the very top of a mountain. Here I am with my pal Warren Candellan. He takes every photo opportunity to get his company branding out there. Notice the sudden impact logo on his toque. Smart guy and too cool for school. Warren loads up the iPod so we can get some tunes blasting, and we start making our way through the trails. The scenery is completely breathtaking. Check out the gorgeous view of the sky and mountaintops. So now I'm going to share my reality of what I'm seeing. I mean, it almost looks like a cat or something coming up from the, diving down on top. It was unbelievable. The scenery was just incredible. So I take them into the actual reality of where I'm at and what I'm doing, right, on a day where most of them are at work. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them right inside my real life of what's happening. So here we are going up the trail. Okay, so there's a minute of them right in their reality. Thankfully, we had great traction with all of our terrain tires that prevented us from going right over the edge. What happened next took us 2 feet underwater. Just when I thought my running shoes were going to remain dry for the trip, Warren heads for the river and goes right through this section that is almost 2 feet deep, sending the river right through the ATV. Good one, Warren. As I inhaled the crisp, clean mountain air, as I enjoyed the breathtaking views of the mountains, as I enjoyed the conversation with Warren, Doug, and Rita, it made me realize how many people never really get to experience some of the greatest things in life. They never get to go on any of these extreme mountain adventures. Why? Because they don't have the money. People can say all they want that money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy freedom. Freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, for however long you want. And for me, this is what happiness is all about. Money can certainly add some incredible experiences with some amazing people like this one that I had on Sunday, March 2nd, 2015 with Warren, Doug, and Rita. Think about it. Whatever way you slice it, these ATV units, whether you own them like Warren and Doug and Rita do, or whether you rent them, they still cost money. The mountain gear we wore on the adventure to us keep us warm still costs money. The gas and food we needed for the day still costs money. So the faster you can surrender to your greatness and feel worthy and deserving, the faster the abundance will flow to you. Here's what's really cool. While I was on the mountain, while I was enjoying my day, while I was soaking up the breathtaking views and breathing in the crisp, clean mountain air, while I was taking in this extreme mountain adventure, my online business generated almost $300 in additional cash flow. Pretty sweet, right? Completely automated income that happened without me. Plus, I did it without having to harass my friends and family. I did it without having to do a single three-way phone call or invite people over to my home. That's speaking to the listening. And you'll notice that it's not a big income story, guys. This is where people don't get this. Big deal, 300 bucks, right? But they're so captivated with the whole story and the fact that, you know, $300, if they could do that all day and still make $300, that'd be pretty great, right? But you'll notice it doesn't say that it was $275,000 with 300 bucks, right? To find out how I'm doing it, go here. To see more pictures of my extreme mountain adventure, go to my fan page here. Want to experience the freedom lifestyle too? Go here, right? Can you guys see how this is about lifestyle now? So the one thing that got me a significant amount of income was family. This one got me a significant amount of signups, which was lifestyle. This is what people really want. Instead of having to set an alarm clock, they can get up and go on an extreme mountain adventure and still make money while they're doing it, okay? Okay, now I'm going to show you guys as well. Now, this is called vulnerability, okay? This is called vulnerability. I posted this particular blog post, and I knew that when I posted it, it was going to piss a lot of people off. Okay, it's called The Untold Lies, The Dark Side of Network Marketing. Okay, and I really go into detail on, you know, the promises that are made, the illusion that it's not going to be any work, you know, the sipping of the pina coladas and fake stories that people use and fake things of cash and fake lifestyle and rented cars and fake pictures with Lear jets and all get in now, lock your spot. All these strategies used to entice people to join, and I go in great detail, guys, okay, great detail. And I talk about all the trials and tribulations of the industry, the different lies that people are told, lie number 1, lie number 2, lie number 3, lie number 4, and it's a long blog post, right? This is a lot of copy in this thing, okay? But because of the fact that I told the truth, look at how long it is. It's still going. It is still going and going and going and going and going and going. Okay, that's a long blog post. Now, what I'm going to share with you is that people that have been in the industry that really know, that feel like they have been completely lied to, misled, the people that have been in the industry that read that blog post, literally they poured out with, Darren, I can't believe that you put all that stuff in that blog post. Oh my God, right? That was unbelievable. I'm going all in with you. Hear what I'm saying, guys? Now, I knew that I was literally going like this, completely naked, okay, standing in front of the crowd with no clothes on, naked. Seriously, that's called vulnerability, okay? Now, I was ready to get rocks thrown at me. I was ready for people to take arrows. I was ready for the seven-figure income earners that don't want all the newbies to know all that stuff to reach out and go, like, why would you do that? Take that down, right? We don't want people to know that. I want them to know that. And if you're prepared to be that truth seeker, if you're prepared to be that person that you're speaking your truth, and the more that you speak your truth in your marketing, where you don't care what people say, you don't care if they throw rocks, you don't care if they throw bow and arrows at you, because you're speaking your truth, and that's it, period. Now, once you can be in that energy, you become the attractor factor. Because you say what other people are thinking that want to say that are too scared to say. And when you can make that bridge over in your marketing, guys, a gateway opens. Because why? I'll tell you why. Because at that point, people can trust you. People can trust you because they know that you have something to stand for. And you stand for what you believe in, and you stand for the truth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So, you know, what I'm going to share with you guys right now, because a lot of people were talking about lead generation. How do you generate leads? Okay. If you have, like, as an example, if you just have a lead capture page that, now keep in mind, you want to test your backgrounds. You want to test to see what works. Don't just say, oh, this is my lead capture page, and keep on spending money on money. Don't do that, right? Because how would you ever know if it could be tweaked? You never tried anything else, right? So what I always share with people is that if you have one that's converting at like a 65% opt-in, right? Great, keep it running for a while until it drops down to 35 or whatever. But if you have one that just consistently is converting, let it run for a while, right? So what are the things that people that are going to get them to put in their email, right? It's typically going to be something that is providing a solution to a problem, okay? A solution to a problem, okay? Now, in our particular industry, there's only a certain number of problems. It's typically lead generation, right? So people don't know how to generate qualified leads, okay? So you can generate qualified leads when you understand more about a lead magnet, right? A lead magnet, something that has value, that's going to solve people's problems, right? You can generate leads, right, by having a blog where people go to find out more about you, and you're solving problems there, but all of a sudden they get there and pop, something pops up that's going to provide value, okay? So if you go to darrenlittle.com and you bam, as soon as you hit enter, it's loading and pop, this pop-up comes up. And what does the pop-up say? Find out how I expanded my business into 5 countries in 90 days. Okay, now think about an average person that's in a business, right? What are they going to go? Well, how did you do that? Right? I want to know how we did that, right? So I'm speaking to the listening, okay? So it says, get a copy of my training manual valued at $197. Okay? Now, I haven't said a lot of words, but I've said a lot of stuff. Okay? So they're already thinking, okay, I'm working in my local market. How'd this guy get into 5 different countries in a 90-day period of time? Right? And he's going to give me a training manual that explains how he did it, right, worth $197. Now, I could have said, get a copy of my ebook, right, but that wouldn't have had the same type of perceived value, okay? So keep in mind, if you want to um, get people to opt in, right? You want to create the most amount of value as you possibly can, okay? Now, I want to share with you guys, you don't have to do any of the stuff that I'm talking about here. None, okay? You can just chat with people on Facebook, right? Just, do your sort of the one-off thing, right? In the event that you want to get into bigger money, bigger marketing, more income, multiple 6 figures and 7 figures, these are the 7-figure strategies that I'm sharing with you guys, okay? Now, you don't have to do them all. You don't have to do any, right? You can think you might do them 2 years from now, okay? Another thing that is going to be of value, right, is a marketing boot camp, right? So here's an example. So I'm a, so somebody might opt in, or they might go to a pop-up and it says, learn the five things that you must know in order to have success in an online business. Get a copy of my 5-day boot camp or my 7-day boot camp, valued at $397, right? Now they're going to opt in. Now it's going to go to day 1, right? Now, what is one thing that people need to know that if they want to build a proper business? What's one thing that they need to know? They need to know how to build a list, of qualified prospects, okay? So in order to do that, they need a place to put the people. Where are they going to do that? They need an autoresponder, right? So that's one thing that people need to know that they need, okay? Now, what are you going to do to get people there? Day 2 might be you need a lead magnet, something of value, right, that people are going to opt in to get. Going value to the marketplace, right? And what are some of the ways that you can provide ongoing value to the marketplace? These are the problems that people have, and these how are you going to provide the solutions to those problems so that you're perceived as a leader, right? Day 4. You see how that works, guys? So somebody that goes through your boot
Do you hear him, Esteban?
Wealth Center, in iPass, and Empower Network, in any company that... Sorry? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you again, but you were like cut for like a couple of minutes. We were not able to hear what you said.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to, okay. So, guys, this is something that anybody could do, okay? And I'm going to show you that. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to do this. You could never do this if you don't. Okay. So I don't know what happened. We totally fried the line there for a sec. We're back, right? Okay. So is that bizarre, guys? Oh, here we go. There was an error while loading your app. This app couldn't open because it didn't provide required information. I don't know what that means. Okay. Can you guys still see me? Yeah? Okay. That happens. It's bizarre, man. I tell you what, the energy goes pop, 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 poof, right? And then it pops. Okay. So let's try this again. Okay, I know I've talked about this on other millionaire mentoring sessions, guys. This is not something that you have to do. It's just something that I recommend, right? It doesn't mean that it's mandatory. I'm just telling you that if you want to become a millionaire and you want to take your life to a completely different level, these are some of the things that I do, and all the other top leaders that I know do them too, okay? So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take a few pictures of your head, okay, of your head. They don't have to be in a studio as long as they're clear. This was shot just in, you know, I went to a concert or something. There was a picture of me and a couple of ladies, and my designer just took my head, okay. The rest of this stuff is all stock photography, okay. So don't think that I went out and spent $2,000 on a customized photo shoot to get this thing with me looking like the magician, okay? This is only my head, and it's been pasted on the rest of this photo, okay? So this page does not take a lot of money. It does not take a lot of time. It does not take a lot of energy, but it does take one thing, guys. It's called outsourcing, okay? Hear what I'm saying here. This is the Henry Ford business model. Henry Ford didn't know everything. He just hired people that knew things that he didn't. And anytime he needed a question answered, he would press a button, a buzzer would ring, and the person would be able to come in that was educated, that knew the answer to the question. Okay? So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to do everything. You just have to be the CEO of your business and outsource it so that it can get done, okay? Now, like I said, you don't have to do any of this stuff, guys, okay? This today is more of a high-level millionaire mentoring and training session because so many people keep on reaching out to me saying, Darren, what's the secret to becoming a millionaire? How do you do it, okay? You got to provide value to the marketplace. You've got to help people solve their problems. You've got to develop a lead magnet that people are going to want to opt in. You got to be vulnerable. You got to be the naked soul. You got to share your life stories. You got to share your personal breakthroughs. That's how you build rapport with people. That's how you become real, right? You become real. Like when I read that story about me and my son, guys, I get choked up. Like it was such an emotional experience for me to have that happen with my son that when I read the story, I start welling up inside because it was that profound for me on my life path. And isn't it interesting how if you look at people's life, the time that they share their most vulnerability is the most response and interaction that they ever get. From their viewers. The time when they share their deepest secrets, their darkest times of what they went through, that's when they get the most amount of support. Do you realize that, guys? That's what we do as human beings, right? And a lot of people are scared of that. And because they're scared of their own vulnerability, because they're scared to share their story, right? And they're scared to just be honest and open, they don't get that, and they wonder why. Because they're not being real. They're not being authentic. They're not sharing their vulnerability, right? I hope this makes sense to you guys. So this here on top is just a close cropped picture of me. And this here is just a box, right? And this is a YouTube video that was put in. Now, guys, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. I didn't do it. I'm not going to tell you that I did do it because I've got like literally zero technical skills. And, you know, it took me months just to figure out how to run a Google Hangout, right? But I wasn't going to let it stop me. I still typed with 2 fingers. I'm a 2-finger chicken pecker typer, right? But I wasn't going to let it stop me. I had cold sweats at night for 90 straight days. No joke, this is a true story. So if you are feeling that you don't have any technical skills, trust me, I was you, okay? I was you. I literally got vertigo when I looked at Facebook. I got dizzy spells. I couldn't sleep at night because I knew that this was my personal breakthrough that I had to get through, and I couldn't do it, and it frustrated the heck out of me. And I kept on going, and I kept on going, and I said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to break through, I'm going to break through, I'm going to break through, and that's it. I'm not going to settle, I'm not going to settle, I'm breaking through, and that's it, period. And finally, it happened. Okay, but it took 3 months of me literally, you know, not sleeping at night, and having dizzy spells and cold sweats to get through that. So if that's you, just know that you can do this and that I believe in you to do it because I did it. If I can do it, you can do it too. And the fact that you're just showing up, right, says that you want to have your breakthrough. That alone, just by showing up, says that you want a better life, that you want to be able to tap in to take your life to the next level. Okay, so now what I'm going to do quickly here, guys, are you guys still on the line here, or did I lose you?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so, okay, that's bizarre. Okay, so Google's working, but Safari isn't? Oh no, okay, I know, I put 2 dots. Okay, so here we go into Facebook. Okay, now guys, this is okay. This is the way to get recruits into your business really, really fast, okay? Really, really fast. Now, if you look here, this story that I put with me and my son, okay, and I'm just going to share with you once again that if you follow this type of formula, you will get more interaction, okay? Now, I already did a test of this, okay? So I'm not speaking from, hey, maybe this will work. I'm speaking 100% because I've tested them. This particular story, okay? So this particular story is about me and my son that I read to you guys already and how my son had suggested this thing. So being in, you know, sort of a state of, I don't know, maybe it's like the ego or whatever, like, okay, well, that was cool, but, you know, okay, I'm just going to go tell everybody about, you know, how they can get this bonus if they take the trial. So last night I posted it on my wall, okay, with a picture of Lucille Ball going like, right? She had her hands up, okay? It was this same concept, but all this stuff was gone, okay? I didn't have the story about me and my son. I only had the story about, it said something like, you know, I've never done this before, right? I've never done this before, right? That's what it said. And it said, you know, how that I'm going to give a $397 mentoring session. I'm so confident in this online automated system that just for you taking the trial, I'm going to give a $397 coaching session, okay? And there was a total of 5 likes, Okay, 5 likes and 4 comments. Okay, now this is the backstory behind this, right? So this is actually what how this kind of thing all evolved, and I actually told the real one, look at the difference. Look at the difference in interaction. So that generated 72 leads right there. I call these leads, just so you know, right? Because these are all people that have just seen my brand. They've connected to me from a soul-to-soul level based upon my story with my boy, right? These are all leads right here. So somebody says, how can I generate leads? I'm showing you one single blog or one single Facebook post that's generated 72 leads in, yeah, I don't know, I posted this only a couple hours ago. Let's see, 5 hours ago, okay, 5 hours ago. Now, these are leads that I would be connecting with, okay? So I want to do this as fast as possible. So I'm going to pull this up, right? I'm going to start here at the bottom. Okay, so let's see the ones that, okay, so I can message Betty. Okay, now all I'm going to do, guys, and this is what people don't realize, is you just completely take your emotion out of this, and I'm just going to say, hey, it's probably Betty Jean, how's it going? How is your day so far? Okay. I'm not giving her a big 6-paragraph expose on my company, because it would be like me walking up to a complete total stranger and say, hey, how you doing? You want to get married? Right? Don't do that, right? This is called social media. Social. That means that it's a giant lounge, right? So now I'm going to copy this part here because I'm going to keep on going. So I've got one connection is out. Okay, so let's keep on going. Okay, that one doesn't have a, okay. Hey, Selena. Okay, so we were officially at 2 connections already. Now, I will share with you guys that if you follow this type of formula and you just are on a mission to get 25 connections in any given day as fast as possible, it makes it really, really super easy, right, to be able to get to your breakthrough. Okay, so we're already at like, I think 3 connections so far. Okay, we're at 4. Okay, looks like this guy's actually online, so I might be able to do some live recruiting here just to show you this really quickly. Okay, so it looks like I talked to this guy years ago when I was in the Empower Network launch. Just find out where he's from. Okay, it looks like he's from Nigeria. Tanzania. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to keep on going. Now, what I will share with you is that this same strategy can be used on Twitter, okay, in the event that that you say, well, I don't have a lot of friends and followers on Facebook. Okay, I can show you how to use a strategy where you can add up to 1,000 people a day on Twitter, and you can use a very similar chat strategy. So, one of the things that I've learned over the course of my own career is that instead of saying, I can't do that, switch your language to, how can I do that, right? I can't have that type of success to, how can I have that type of success? I can't afford that to, how can I afford that, right? And it's a big shift. Once you understand how that type of different speaking will affect your reality. Like I talk to some of my students sometimes, and they're like, I can't figure it out. I can't get to my personal breakthrough. I don't know why I can't seem to break through. Well, how about because you're speaking it into your reality, right? How about let's start with that, right? So that's what happens for a lot of people, is that they're actually speaking about the reality that they don't want, and they're wondering why it keeps showing up every day, right? It's not rocket science, guys. There's two worlds that exist simultaneously. Okay, on one side you've got everything that you want, and on the other side that you've got everything that you don't want. Whichever reality that you focus on is the one that you're going to get. Okay? We as human beings can speak our realities into existence. Okay? We can speak our realities into existence. So if you are not getting the reality that you want, you've got to ask yourself, why is it keep on showing up for you in your reality? What are you thinking about? What are you speaking about? And what are you writing about? And how does that make you feel emotionally? Because it's your emotional attachment that's broadcasting out to the electrons. Real simple. It's a real simple thing to do, and it's a real super simple thing not to do, right? But once you can be aware of it and you can be the observer of your reality instead of the participant of your reality, you can now move into what's called split consciousness, and you can start steering your own ship. Because what is going to steer your ship is your physiology, guys. The physiology in your body is steering your ship. Okay, that's what steers your, that's your compass. So you've got to ask yourself multiple times per day, how do I feel? How do I feel? That's what's going to determine which path you're on. Are you on the everything you want path, or are you on the everything you don't want path? And your physiology will be your compass. That's why it's so important to be very in tune with that. So see here, here's the interesting thing, guys. I can typically tell from my post, if I start getting multiple seven-figure income earners like Aaron that show up on the post, I'm telling you guys that that is a really good indicator, right? That is a really good indicator that you're on the right path, right? Remember, stories sell, facts only tell. Okay, so this is somebody that said, really enjoyed your interview. I didn't even see that there. Okay, so this is how you can tell that somebody's following your information. He says, hey Darren, things are great. Thanks for asking, how was LA? Okay. This guy says, I really enjoyed your interview and would like to get you know you better. Have a great weekend. So I'm going to say, hey Levi, how's it going? How's your day going so far? Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to turn on my phone, and I'm going to send a video, guys. Now, these are things that a lot of people don't think of because they don't understand about relationships. Business is about relationships. Business is about sharing your life, sharing your reality. Okay, so he's specifically asking me about my trip to Los Angeles, right? So I'll show you what I'm gonna do here. I'm just waiting for my phone to turn on. It's must be really full here with data. Okay, so watch what I do. Okay, so I'm going to go on now. The cool thing about the phone, guys, just so you know, is you have Messenger, and you can actually just press the record button and send a voice message too. Okay, so let me just try this here. Just waiting for this Facebook thing to load. Okay. So I'm going to hit the recording. Hey Phil, it's Darren here. Yeah, man, I just had an absolute blast in Los Angeles. I'm going to send you a video here. That I was watching on the shore. I was on this pier. It was just unbelievable, man. I'm going to send that. Hold on. Okay, so there's my recording. And now I'm going to send my video of me, of the pier shot that I took. And okay, so that's that. I'm going to send that. And then I'm going to send a couple pictures of this gigantic sailboat that I saw that was like 185 feet long. Okay, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Okay, so there's the video that's just come through. There's the sailboat. And I'm going to send this one of the back of it. And I'm going to send this picture of the seal. Okay, so I've just given him a couple of cool little highlights of my trip. So I sent him a. Hey Phil, it's Darren here. Yeah, man, I just had an absolute blast in Los Angeles. I'm going to send you a video here that I was watching on the shore. It was on this pier. It was just unbelievable, man. I'm going to send that. Hold on. You see that, guys? That's called building relationships. You see the difference between, hey, get in my deal, lock your spot, jump in now, right? That's not a relationship. You know, what value are you providing to another person's life when all you care about is getting them to pull out their credit card, right? I don't even know what's going on in Phil's life right now, right? I want to be able to connect with him to find out what is happening in his life, with his vision, with his dream, with his goals, with his passion. Does he have any problems? And what can I do to help him solve them? That's what leaders do. Now, you can't do that if you don't find out. How can I even know what's going on in his life? His mom could have just died, right? He could have gotten a divorce right now. He might be in a really bad situation. His kids might be in the hospital. Who knows, right? I don't know what's going on. I haven't chatted with him for a while. And people go through peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. Everything can be going great, and all of a sudden, bam, somebody's in a car accident. Everything can be going great, bam, all of a sudden there's a corporate downsize and a layoff, and the family's got no income coming in. I'm hoping this makes sense, guys, while I'm going through these things. Am I making sense with this stuff?
Yes, so much sense, Darren. It's awesome.
You have to get a throne. Yeah, you'll have to get you a throne.
Did you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do here, guys, right now is I just want to, I want you to give me some idea as to what are some of the areas that I haven't covered that you would still like me to cover.
Can I talk real fast? I know you have covered marketing, but what happens is I get stuck when I actually get to the site itself and have to go through the process on my own. You know, it looks easy and stuff when you're showing us in the Hangout. And I guess it's just because I'm not a real techie person, but is there any way we could get into like some more detail with how to actually do the capture pages and stuff like that?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to share with you, Michelle, and this is you know, complete vulnerability here. Okay, complete vulnerability. I am completely a non-technical person. Okay. When iPass rolled out, I don't know, it's like probably 2 weeks ago now with their new launch, I still have not set up connecting my autoresponder to my system. Okay, now why is that? Okay, because when my mind thinks about it, I start having cold sweats. Okay, because that's, you know, my trigger, right? Technical stuff. Oh, right, technical. Oh my God, technical stuff, right? So what I typically do is I start just thinking about it in my mind, right? I think, okay, let's see. I'm just going to take that, and I'm gonna watch one video, and then I'm just going to put it on pause, and I'm going to take the action step, and I'm going to put it on pause again, and I take the action step, and I break it down into little tiny chunks like this so that it can be digestible for me. Because if I don't do that in my brain first, before I even start it, oh my God, right? Now, I'm thinking about doing hypnotherapy or something to actually get over this stuff myself, right? But this has been one of my personal challenges. Now, if I can do it, right, what's the formula that I use? Okay, so first of all, if I want to develop a lead capture page, okay, the first thing that I will tell you is I don't do it myself. Okay, I develop a list. Okay, I've learned how to make a list, right? And I've learned how to make a form. Okay, once I get that form, I send it to David in India, and he makes me a lead capture page. True story. Okay, because it's not my forte, right? Now, from there, after that kind of went, you know, on its, you know, I've got a bunch of lead capture pages that David has done for me. I do have that system that's set up with NWC, right? That's like $10 a month or whatever, $19 a month. But here's what I will share with you. I haven't set it up yet. Right? Why haven't I set it up yet? I haven't set it up yet. Right? I haven't set it up yet because my brain is just So what have I done instead? Right? Is I've had to work on my, you know, thinking about this in my brain. Okay, so I start my self-talk. So I'm like, okay, this is a really easy process to do, right? This is a really easy process to do. I can do this. This is very easy, right? I just have to take it in little tiny bite steps. I can do this. I know I can do this. I've done it before. I can do it again, right? So I have to actually start here before I can even log into a back office. Sometimes it takes me 2 weeks of self-talk, right, before I can actually go try, right? And I can't even explain why this happens, but it's almost like a thing in my body, right, that rejects me going into anything to do with technical stuff, right? I don't know why, right? It's just something that I'm personally, it's one of my own challenges that I'm going through, okay? So, but what I will share with you is that I don't let it stop me. Okay, so here's an example. So let's say as an example, that I've got a blocker there. So what do? I go, okay, hold on a second here. What can I do to create value for the marketplace? You know, could I do a millionaire mentoring session? Could I connect with somebody on my team and help get them connected to their vision and their dream, right? Could I share some of my strategies with people to help them have a personal breakthrough? Could I do a video? Could I do a personal development video? Could I email my list, right? What could I do that are all income-producing activities over here with all the things that I have that are my assets and skills, and not focus on this roadblock, because that's going to stall my business, right? So if I take my attention off of here and I continue doing my self-talk, right, that's going to get me just to log into the back office of whatever it is I got to try and set up, right? Just the logging in process is creating the red alert button, okay? So I start on my self-talk as I'm having success on all of my other income-producing activities. Does that make sense, Michelle?
Yes, yes, thank you so much. That's going to help me tremendously, tremendously. I want to start doing a blog, and I want to make it more professional looking like you do. So, yeah, if I can take, you know, and I get like sweaty too, and it's crazy. I'm like, what is going on with me, Michelle? It's all here, you know. And then a lot of times I'll get something, I'm like, what was the big deal? But with this, for some reason, the capture pages and the blogging and the putting text in certain areas and getting the links to be able to be clicked on and stuff like that, I'm just spacing out. So I'm going to stop doing my negative self-talk, get into my positive self-talk, find my bliss, get in my good vibration like I do, and then approach it, like you said, bite-size. Thank you. It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Now, here's the other thing that I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, now a lot of people, you know, will say, you know, hey, you got to do it this way, right? I don't run my business that way, because what I'm doing is I'm putting unnecessarily stress on my body, and I know that if my body is not in its preferred state, right, then I'm not broadcasting the proper message out to the electron. So why would I do that? Why would I frustrate myself, right, thinking I have to be a certain way or do a certain thing when it's just making me stressed, right? So I move my attention onto what makes me feel good. Okay, so it makes me feel good if I know that somebody's having a personal breakthrough. That makes me feel good, right? So I go do some coaching calls, right? So I can feel good because they're having personal breakthroughs. What's another thing that makes me feel good? It makes me feel good when I can share stories about my personal breakthroughs, because I know they're going to help somebody else. When I can share my vulnerability and I know somebody else is going to benefit, that makes me feel good. So I focus on that, right? Now, what I will sometimes do is I set an intention in my mind, but I don't try to get it all done. Okay, so as an example, here is a perfect example. That story that I wrote about me and my son with the Lamborghini dealership and whatnot that's made about 12 grand, I probably took a full week, right, to do that blog post. Okay, I didn't do it all sitting down for one session. Oh, I got to do my blog post and it has to be finished today. If it doesn't get finished today, I'm not within the rules. Oh, I got to do one blog post today. I don't do that, okay? Because I want to create value to the market. Okay, so I may have worked on that one blog post for maybe an hour or an hour and a half, right? But for me, that hour, hour and a half, because I'm not a technical person and I got this interface and all these buttons and oh my God, what am I going? How do I get this picture centered? And oh my God, what am I going to do? Upload. Right, this red alert button starts, right? And I've got to figure out a way to chunk it down so that it's and I feel like I've done something that's productive, right? Does that make sense, guys? Right? So I want for you guys.
Total sense, Darren. Awesome. Thank you.
So I want for you guys to know that because I'm a non-technical person, okay, here's kind of the interesting thing, and it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of bizarre actually, because I know how this works, which is quantum physics, okay, like attracts like. So because I'm quite a non-technical person, and a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that, right? When I tell these stories about cold sweats and, you know, my forehead gets all like cold and I'm sweating and I get vertigo and all this stuff, they don't even believe me. Well, yeah, well, like, look at you on the leaderboards all the time. How's that work, right? This is the formula. I'm sharing with you guys how I handle it, is that I don't stress myself out. I focus on the things that I know that I'm good at, right? And what makes me happy, right? So if I can build up my happy turbo booster over here, right, and then I'm going to take on my technical stuff, I know it's going to take my happy booster and go like, whoa, right? As long as I get out at a certain time, I can whoa, take it back over here, and then I come back over for that little round and whoa, right? So as long as I know these different tanks, then I'm okay, right? Because I'm only going to use a certain amount of my energy tank until I reach a certain point, and then I'm out, right? And then I'm back into the things that make me happy again. So what I'm going to share with you about the business and marketing, there's no race, guys. There's no race, right? Okay, so imagine this. There's a lot of people that right now in the iPass launch, I mean, they're blowing traffic and 20 sales in a day, 30 sales in a day, and here's me, you know, I don't even have my system set up yet. My autoresponder not even working. I don't even have any autoresponders loaded into my autoresponder, because that's a whole other process that I got to go through. So what have I done? I've worked with what I have. Okay, so what do I have? I got a wall with Facebook followers, and I got a list that I can communicate with, right? And I got a group of people that I can chat with on Facebooks or on Hangouts. So here's what I did. I focused on that, and then I focused on my little tiny success stories, right? So a lot of people think you gotta have this ginormous income story. You don't. I showed you guys blog posts that signed up 5 people, and I was talking about $300, right? My first story about my beef and broccoli was only a $75 income story. It wasn't massive, guys. So don't think that you have to have some ginormous income story in order to have, you know, success. But here's what happened. Because I focused on success story, success story, success story, success story, success story, success story, bam! I hit number 5 on the leaderboard, right? And I had like a $5,300 day, right? So, holy cow. But you mean, well, what about all this stuff over here, this like friction, friction, friction? I don't fall my focus on what do I have that are assets and skills that I can use right now. What do I have in relationships? Who can I reach out to just by, you know, even picking up the phone, saying, hey, how's it going? How's it going? So far, just to reach out, touch base, say a quick hello, right? I got that. I got Facebook chat. I got my list. I got videos I can make. I got a Google Hangout. And what magically happened? Right? And I recruited, I think, 12 new people in the short period of time, right? And most of them were autopilot signups, right? So hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully that helps. Okay, so we are going to wrap for today, guys. I hope that you got an enormous amount of value from today's session. That's truly my goal, is for everybody to be able to leave here and think that, wow, you know, they've gone through some sort of shift because of some information that they got today, right? So hopefully you guys got value, and you know, I'm excited about this. Whatever path that you're on, guys, okay? Here's one of the things I'm going to share with you, and when you guys really get this, it will change everything for you, okay? All of the strategies that I use can be used in anything. Could be Empower Network, National Wealth Center, Jeunesse Global, Prepaid Legal, Nerium, Visalis, Gano Excel, Organo Gold. It doesn't matter. These marketing strategies that I'm telling you guys, if everybody used these, here's what I will share with you. There's no way to ever get rejected, right? You'll have a lineup of people opting in and calling you because you're solving problems and providing value to the market, right? And when that happens, they look to you as a leader. Now, you don't have to be a millionaire to do millionaire mentoring. You just have to know what the problems are and have the solutions to all the problems so that you can provide value. And once you guys realize there's only a certain number of problems that people actually have in this whole industry, right? Once you realize that, do you realize that any one of you here, after being on a couple of millionaire mentoring sessions, you could actually have a panel of people, ask every single person what their problem is, and talk with total confidence to show them what to do to solve their problem. Do you realize that? Do you realize that, guys? Just a couple of millionaire mentoring sessions where you go like, oh my God, this whole mystique that I had all this time, it's really simple after all. All these people, and if you look at all the businesses that you've been in, you will realize, oh my God, I only had those 5 problems. That's all there really is. And everybody's looking for solutions to those 5 problems. Now, if you could become the solution provider to those 5 problems, guess what happens? Your phone starts ringing. People start reaching out to you, say, I want to go all in your business, because they start seeing you as a solution provider, a problem solver. Now, once that happens, guess what happens to your income? Like this. Straight up. Right? Make sense, guys? Okay, so we're going to wrap for today. You've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. I'm so fired up right now, guys. I gotta tell you. I mean, this last couple of weeks, with all these things that are going on right now, I am so incredibly passionate about helping you to get to your personal breakthrough so that you will literally never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. So I look forward to seeing you on next Sunday with Millionaire Mentoring. And if you're seeing this on a YouTube video or Facebook or something, click the link around this video someplace, take action, get enrolled, throw your hat over the wall. Once you learn these strategies of quantum physics and how to manifest and create your own reality, your life will be complete bliss. That one's for you, Michelle. So, guys, have a great day. I look forward to next Sunday. Have a good one.